Hello students, welcome back to my channel. This is Asma Babwani and today I'll be explaining you Grade 8 English Unit 2 Tsunami Chapter 2 Geography Lesson. Can you imagine what your city would look like if you saw it from 10,000 feet above the ground? Neatly planned and perfect in proportion like a geometric design. It would strike you as something very different from what it actually is while you are in the thick of it. Here is a poet's description of just such a view of the city and some questions that come to his mind. When the jet sprang into the sky, it was clear why the city had developed the way it had. Seeing it scaled 6 inches to the mile, there seemed an inevitability about what on ground had looked haphazard, unplanned, and without style when the jet sprang into the air. Students, the poet here says that when the poet looked at the city from the sky, it seemed unplanned and unorganized. It does not have any particular style or design. So, what looked haphazard on ground looked inevitable from the sky. Students, haphazard means without plan or order, and inevitable means that cannot be avoided. When the jet reached 10,000 feet, it was clear why the country had cities where the rivers ran and why the valleys were populated. The logic of geography that land and water attracted men was clearly delineated when the jet reached 10,000 feet. So, poet here says that what looked unplanned and without order, it is inevitable. Inevitable is that cannot be avoided. You cannot avoid that. When the aeroplane flew at the height of 10,000 feet above the ground, the poet could see that the cities were located near the rivers or water resources. He found out the cities are located near the rivers and the valleys are also populated for the same reason. So the poet says that the availability of water resources is the reason behind the unorganized cities. Students, poet here says that people settle near the water resources more as they require water for almost all activities. He understands that the land and water are the key to human existence. Thus, he can see the logical reason for the development of the cities. When the jet rose 6 miles high, it was clear that the earth was round and that it had more sea than land. But it was difficult to understand that the men on the earth found causes to hate each other, to build walls across cities, and to kill from that height. It was not clear why. Zulfikar Ghosh. Students, when the plane rises still higher, that is 6 miles up, the poet says it was clear that the earth is round. He found that the earth has more water than land, as the earth has more number of seas than lands. But one thing the poet could not figure out was why the people on the earth hate each other. The people on the earth have built walls, boundaries, and fences to kill each other. He finds that the earth is one, but people living on it have divided and fragmented it. And thus, it is easy to understand that the logic of geography from a height. However, it is very difficult to understand why humans hate one another. This remains a mystery. Students, let's summarize the poem once again. The poet in the poet is Zulfikar Ghosh. He says that he has described the scene of a city from a jet. He finds that cities are not neatly planned and are disorganized. He understands that water resources are the main reason for people to settle near the rivers. As the jet moves higher, he notices that people have created boundaries of hate among themselves. As the jet takes off into the sky, the poet describes the scene of the city from it, which is flying high in the sky. The poet says that it became clear to him why the city developed according to the necessity of the people and not as per proper planning. The poet also says that the earth is round and people on the earth have built walls and fences to kill each other. He finds earth is one, but people living on it have divided and fragmented it. And The poet says that it is easy to understand the logic of geography from the height, but it is very difficult to understand why humans hate one another, and this always will remain a mystery. The poet of this poem is Zulfikar Ghosh. Students, I hope you understand the poem geography lesson, and see you in next chapter. Students, if you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe the channel Asma Babwani. Click on the bell icon to get the latest updates. Like the videos, share the videos, and do comment on all the videos.